Hello, I'm Dick.
And I'm Eric, and we're the annuity guys.
Eric, we're always leading out with the questions that we get asked all week long.
And boy, has the phone been ringing off the hook.
We've had a rash of questions, yes. Where does this come from?
I don't know. I tell you what, this week, I don't know what's in people's minds right now, but I've got literally three people in the last few days have called up and said, exactly, I went out of the market now.
And some of them couldn't get out as fast as they wanted.
and that's, some people are trying to liquidate, get their money into money markets and get into cash equivalents.
Well, and there's an intuitive sense to this when, people tend to think, together. But there's also another group of people that are rushing into the market because it's getting high again.
Right. Well,
and these cycles, they just keep repeating themselves.
Well, and we've always been taught since day one when it comes to any kind of investing, buy low, sell high.
Sounds simple.
It sounds simple, but human nature says I'm missing out. Everybody else is making money.
We can just hang in here for a little while longer.
I'm getting in now. So nobody wants to be left out of the gravy train.
Yeah.
So, but boy, the folks that have called me, I think that have experienced, 2008, 2009. And they're laying awake at night. What happens if there's a correction? What happens if the volatility, the global economic situation? Every time Syria sneezes, our market reacts. So
it's amazing how well things have done for how long, and we know that this easy money, if it continues, it's going to do some real damage, which it probably, according to many, probably already has.
Well, and I think the markets are going to start to react to every time we talk about a new Fed chairman now or somebody who's going to control this monetary policy. Are we going to stop buying bonds? And then what happens to the market? Mm-hmm. Is it priced in already? Is it not priced in? So you've got people that are laying awake, impending retirement. What do you do? It's, do I get out? Is this the time?
Well, and that is a really a big, important question. How close are you to retirement? Yeah. Because that really supersedes everything. That supersedes the market.
Well, and I always like the Vegas analogies when it comes to this time with the market. When's the time to walk away from the table? You've had a nice little run. You've got a pile of chips on the table. It feels good.
Yes.
You just want to keep going and keep going. Well, the time to walk away is when you still have money left, obviously.
And how many people do that, Eric?
I would say, based off the size of the casinos in Vegas, not nearly as many as they should have.
Not as many as brag that they...
But that's where the other analogy that we talk about with annuities, or especially with the indexed annuities, where you have an opportunity to put a bet out there and say, all right, you know what, if I win, I get to get a little bit more.
If I win, you're going to add to my holdings.
I either win or I don't win, but I don't lose.
If you don't win,
you would think you don't win, you
don't lose.
But it's I place my bet.
Now,
if I win,
I would like to play in that casino.
Yeah, but
that I can just keep saying, no, I think I'll try again.
Yeah,
I think I'll try again.
You don't lose, you get to play again.
And that's really the way the indexed annuity, the hybrid annuity, and let's clarify that. We're not talking about the returns that are in a big up market. The 8%,
and we're not talking about
range,
blackjack type returns where you're getting double on your money either.
Right.
So
but good, modest, steady returns. And when you just look at the cyclical aspect of the market, and you look at year after year, you'll find that there are a lot more years that you actually gain from the market than you lose. It's just that some of those years that you lose big.
Right.
And so that's the difference in the gain and retain type strategy. And that's, utilizing annuities for that portion, at least a portion of the portfolio, is that you have those years that you gain, which are many more. However, you have those other years where you would lose big in the market that you don't.
Right. Yeah. Nobody wants to take a 38% dive like we did a few years ago. So when we're talking, and we talked to a lot of folks about protecting that foundational income aspect with annuities. So, and I would say, Dick, this is the opportune time for someone that has this fear and has trouble sleeping and is setting up wondering if this is the time. If you're wondering whether or not this is the time, it's probably a time to start evaluating and taking those steps to protect and safely ensure your retirement.
Well, and what I'm wanting to say, Eric, is that doesn't mean take the whole portfolio and buy annuities with it. What it means is evaluate what portion of your portfolio should be foundational.
That's right.
What portion of your portfolio should be safe no matter what? And it should still accomplish those goals in a more moderate sense that you want to accomplish to secure your retirement.
Right. The closer you get to retirement, the more you should have in safe positions. And it doesn't necessarily always mean annuities, but I can tell you right now, for good people that are looking at what's going on with the bond market right now, moving their bond positions into annuities is not a bad idea either. So.
Right.
So is this the time that we should be getting out of the market, Dick?
Well, I think that each person individually has to answer that question. And I think for those folks that are close to retirement, I think that the vast majority of them will say, yes, this is a great time to get out of the market. Is it as high as it's going to go?
No.
Who knows? Eric thinks it's going higher.
It'll go higher, but don't ask me when or how.
But
or
when's
where.
it coming down and how far is it coming down?
If you ask me if it's going down, the answer is
yes.